Hey, it's your narrator here. Thank you so much for listening to our tale. Special thanks to our subscribers on Ko-Fi, Scav, Xbox Unofficial, Kane, Sky, Maelstrom Star, Flowerfield, and David Draws. Your support means more you can know. Our background music is by Marika Shans, with a closing by Cody, and an opening by Ben McElroy. Our art is by our very own Corey, voice of Virgil. Now why don't you sit with me and look up at the sky? You see the stars? They're telling us a story, if we want to listen. Do you want to forget this?
No.
It's good to hear. Gets lonely sometimes.
I'll be here.
So will I.
You have a good time? Absolutely nothing on the subject.
Interesting.
You know how this part goes.
Do we? I mean, yeah, we do. It's
We're telling what happened last time.
Well, last time we decided to break into Donna's office with the help of Scar and some of her lackeys. Scar did wander away, though, as we got into somewhere, and we haven't seen her since.
And Mayla's been working with Scar for the last little bit. Still haven't really had a chance to talk to her about that.
But the break-in, all things considered, went well. Up until the end when, you remember, the devil walked in.
I still can't tell if that was a good thing or a bad thing.
They let us go, so I think that is a good thing.
All things considered, it could have been worse.
I thankfully was not involved in the break-in devil meeting business. I went to speak with Maggie and
Your own personal demon.
unfortunately had to get through Donna first, but it all worked out. I think it went as well as it probably could have.
And now we're all sitting together, waiting for Scar to show up.
Watching something in the city burn.
Hey, the smoke has gotten... It's not so bad anymore. Please, someone tell me it's not so bad anymore.
They usually put out the fires pretty quickly.
Using precious desert water. Is Lo still here? Or did they, just appear to cure it?
Is Lo ever here?
Is Lo ever really here?
Is the fourth wall up right now?
How many walls are we dealing with?
We need to know what kind of stage this is.
Sounds like you had a lucky day, didn't you?
You could say that.
Finn and Leaf greet you all with casual, sloppy salute as you approach. Oh, and Mela, sorry. Though she just gives you a bit of a nod. So, Leaf stands up. Did it all go all right?
Could have been worse.
Okay.
No one saw us. As us.
Someone see you as someone else, but they still saw you?
Keen gestures to their disguise. Still.
Oh, I understand that. I just mean, it's still a problem if people saw you.
We dealt with her pretty quickly, and got away, so she just saw me.
Listen, I'm not, Leaf holds out a hand, pats you on the shoulder. I'm not trying to say you did a bad job or anything like that, just to be clear. Just, make sure to report the whole story to Scarlet when she gets back.
I'm not trying to hide anything.
I know.
Where is she, anyway?
That's a good question. She comes and goes as she pleases. She'll probably be back soon.
Maybe she got a little hungry.
I don't think people usually eat tequila. Doesn't really go good with anything. Orcs, you would know better than I do.
Well, there's plenty of things it goes well with, but I don't think she planned on grabbing any of them by the looks of it. She normally do that?
What?
Just wander off without saying much?
All three of them nod at the same time.
Usually with a bottle in her hand?
Leaf gives a small shrug. Sometimes if a bottle's around.
Hopefully she gets back soon.
I'm sure she will. Just, we can stay out here for a bit. Wait a little longer. You were pretty efficient. It hasn't been a terribly long night yet. Let her have some fun.
Well, if she's going to be busy for a bit longer, Virgil's gonna find a place to sit, like maybe on a smooth stone or something, and pull out the documents that we have stolen and take a look-see.
Ox is gonna sit right next to you and join.
Keen will pull out some of the stuff that they had found as well and change their disguise, probably to Bree. Find a nice little spot against the log as well.
Kieran will hold out his hand for his share of the documents.
Correct me if I'm wrong. What we got was a list of folks that were tattooed by Wiley.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we got a collection of letters to or from Nivane, is that correct?
They're all
And-
from.
From Nivane.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Ox's folder, just a folder that says Ox. The easier thing to read and the simpler thing to read. They're just going to look at the list of names and tattoos and see if they recognize any names or if there are any. Like, I don't know if it doesn't say what the spells are associated with the tattoos, does it?
You know, I think I didn't say it did last time, but that would have just been a lapse on my part because it definitely would. Yes.
They want to look for, like, especially scary sounding spells.
You do find, of course, Ox's name and the list of the spells that Ox had. You don't find anything scarier than, like, imprisonment. You don't find many sendings. You do find plenty of scryings. You find a few teleportation. You find just, like, a couple of the imprisonment spells of different varieties.
Will the teleportation teleport the person with the tattoo?
It doesn't specify.
Huh.
That's how I would read it.
Just yoink them back.
Yeah.
You do see a lot of charm spells as well. Command, charm person, things like that.
Great. Super ethical.
Head of the ethics committee.
You asked if Rowan's name was on there.
I don't like your tone, actually. Yeah. What the fuck, man?
Rowan's name is not on there. Virgil would probably know. Virgil has explored Rowan's body. I think he would know if Rowan had a beautiful Wiley tattoo
Well,
somewhere.
maybe he's like fucked off to paradise and like seen Wiley and like got a like breakup tattoo. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. I'm just double checking.
Yeah, you
Just
don't see it.
crossed out Virgil's name in cursive on his ass. I don't know.
You see Aishan's name pretty early on in the ledger.
Oh, horse guy.
Yeah, I should say Aishan was the halfling who led you all to Paradise when you first arrived. Or I guess not led you all. You accompanied him. His name is on there pretty high up. Multiple sendings. Those are the only, and of course Virgil's name.
Yeah.
And those are the only familiar names you see.
He's not even a prisoner.
Does that mean he was working with her?
You also found a search warrant for Henry's shop as well.
Right.
That you took.
Is it signed by a judge?
It's signed by the sheriff.
Keen just passes this over to Henry.
What's in the Ox file?
Let me open up a new page of notes here.
Oh god.
Surely one of us would notice if you tried something fishy. Ox would never do anything fishy, right?
It's
Nothing
not like
fishy. No, he hates fish.
Exactly.
it's not like Ox has good sleight of hand.
Ox, it seems that this is in some sort of order. The first paper that you find is a birth certificate registration request. Most people born in somewhere in nowhere, and in many of the islands, need to essentially like register themselves. Their parents will sign a paper with their official name, description, date of birth, etc. This is for Orel Moore. Birth date unknown. Parents unknown. Clipped to it is a quickly written, sort of scratchy, messy handwriting. A description of Orel's discovery. They found this child in the metal graveyard. They couldn't find signs of his parents. They found no signs of fae or curse or aberration in him and would like to take him in and register him under their name. You find the report of the sheriff's death. Actually, I do want to ask your input on this before I go onwards with what I'm going to say. As far as Ox knows, what do people believe happened to the sheriff?
Well, he was arrested for it afterwards. I think everybody in town is under the impression that he did it.
Cool. It's a report that the sheriff's son, Jonathan, killed him, that he's under arrest. You find reports of a jailbreak that describe Orel Moore as a dangerous criminal who killed his guard and broke out. There were 5 casualties. You find various wanted posters, again, news report stories, handwritten accounts, etc. of the Coburn crew. Some reports say that 2 people were cited on the scene of the crime. Some say that 3 people were cited. You find, at the end, a picture of you and Den.
I think he leaves through all of this information, and once he's gotten to the end, he'll sort of just leaf through again and reread all that he can. And I think he'll take the picture of him and Anne out and leave the rest for anyone else to look over if they so please.
How big of a picture?
I mean, it looks like it's from either a news report or a wanted post or something like that. It's not huge. 2 inches by 2 inches.
What? Keen's not trying to like read over Ox's shoulder or anything, but as Ox is looking this file over, I would like to roll an insight check just on Ox's vibe. 9.
I'm trying to think about what Ox is outwardly portraying right now.
I'd also like to know what Ox is.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is he? He's just a little guy. The impression that you get is sort of a wave of sadness.
Yeah. Keen just kind of looks over. Is that in the picture?
Yeah. I'm wondering why it's just the 2 of us in this picture.
Do you expect it to be something different?
Well, I'd expect it to be one of the posters of Cliburn crew. All 3 of us. I think there's information I wasn't really expecting.
What do you mean?
Well, read it yourself. I guess I was adopted.
King kind of reaches for the file, and it takes them a bit to actually find what Ox means. Do you think you came from down there then?
I guess that's sort of more and more what it seems like.
The whole timeline does not make sense to me at all.
No, the vision I saw, it was decades ago.
Maybe they could do it multiple times. Or
When you say decades, you don't mean like, should I ask, you mean longer than
like
what,
centuries?
3 decades?
Yeah, more like centuries actually. It was
Okay.
it was pre-downfall, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, like
Technically,
so like
that is decades.
500 years ago? How long?
700.
700. 700. Quite a few decades.
And I guess I should, I don't know if this was unclear, but it is for like a baby.
Yes.
This note, it's not
Yeah,
like okay.
Yeah. Like
I
a
got
newborn.
that. They found the little crawling kid.
Hey man, how many times do you think you've been egged? What life are you on?
Okay.
Sorry.
I don't want to like feed you the answers, but I think you might be picturing something incorrectly.
Yeah, probably.
They put like the children in, then
The egg
the
could
egg
just,
formed.
the egg could have been an egg for a long
Yeah.
ass time.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what
It
I'm
was
saying,
a very
preserved.
long incubation.
No, thank you for saying that, because that
Yeah.
I think we
Got
could
it.
have come to that conclusion.
Finn and Leaf and Mela are all sitting in a little circle 5 feet away from you and just kind of blatantly watching as this conversation happens.
What's Jock doing?
Voguing.
If you let Jacques sit with you, he will. But if not, he joins them.
We're not necessarily trying to shield that information from the rest of them.
Then he's sitting next to Kian. Not looking at you all, but it's clear he's listening.
It's not expected, but it makes more sense than you being some sort of, I don't know, resurrected lookalike of what was happening down there.
Well, Scar,
Yeah. What? That's where I'm trying to put the pieces together. If we are tied together.
that much is very clear now.
She's a star, isn't she? That's what Lo said. Well, she was. Kian kind of looks over to Jacques and then past to, like, the rest of the Negawins. We don't really know what she is now. For sure.
Are you asking us?
Yes, at this point I am.
You want to know what Scar is?
If you know.
Jacques looks to Finn, Leaf, and Mela, and they'll exchange glances like they're each trying to check in with each other about this, and all coming back unconclusive. And Leaf kind of motions for Jacques to go on. Honestly, we have been a bit nervous discussing it because we are not entirely sure ourselves. We thought for some time she was a guardian who left her islands. We thought perhaps she was an archfey who got bored and wanted to do something interesting. We wondered if she is some sort of powerful mage. For a time we thought perhaps a vampire. For a time we thought perhaps just a very enigmatic person. Sometimes it appears she is quite powerful, sometimes she's just a person.
You know. But it doesn't really answer, I don't think, the question of what Scar is.
Kira, you see Mela raise her hand a little bit.
He cocks an eyebrow at her.
I always thought it was interesting. Scar wanted me to join because of my work with the golems. You know, making bodies. So I always thought she probably wasn't really a person at all.
Did she ever talk to you about making her a body? A host body?
Nothing so specific as that, but... Well, she seemed mighty eager back at the... whatever that glass thing that you all fucked around with.
Oh no, I think that was exactly what she wanted.
That's what I'm saying.
I think maybe that was the best way for her to get what she wanted.
Mela, can I ask how exactly you learned what you do know about golems?
She kind of blushes a bit and looks down. I don't know, I guess I just am smart about that kind of thing at least. It's just something I'm good at.
Can I insight check her?
Yeah.
Okay, this is such a belated insight check, but I didn't want to interrupt the flow. When Lachlan said vampires, I just wanted to insight if there was any hint, like a force neutrality, negativity, positivity. I rolled a nat 20.
Oh, I also rolled a nat 20.
Oh my god!
There's no... I mean, as they're all talking about this, there's a hushed tone to all of them.
Yeah.
And you can tell they've all, gathered around in circles and discussed this stuff in whispered voices before. And that's still, like, the energy that he gives off when talking about her in general.
True neutral about vampires.
There's nervousness during this whole discussion.
And then nat 20 on Mela.
What, just if she's lying?
Yeah, if it just genuinely came to her. She just figured it out. She's a genius.
She is!
I know she is!
You don't see any sign of shame. She's a bit fidgety, but it kind of feels like the kid who's trying not to brag, but like trying to show off, you know? Yeah, that's what you get from her.
That's very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, we got lots of travelers coming in and out of Enosh, and lots to learn, and not much else to do there. So,
Did she find you, or did you find her?
that's a good question. It kind of, in the moment, it was like, I found her, but I'm not so sure about that. Considering that I've been mighty useful. I think she might have heard about me first.
Sorry, this has just been weighing on my mind a little bit. It's not... Lizzie and Ophelia, the rest of them, they didn't do anything to make you mad at them, did they?
No, they were fine.
Okay. You sure?
What do you mean?
I just wanted to make sure they didn't do anything that would...
No, they didn't. They didn't.
Okay.
Things are just moving too slow.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. So she found you outside of Enosh, where the haven was.
Yeah. Why am I being questioned?
I was just curious.
Folds her arms. Nods.
I'm not trying to be judgmental. That would be a little bit hypocritical of us all. Just didn't seem like what you had planned beforehand.
Nothing's really gone how I planned, so that doesn't really matter.
Hope things are working out better now.
Not yet, but hopefully.
Anyway, we should probably take a peek at the other papers, right?
Yeah.
Henry's going for those letters.
Oh,
Donna
oh,
to
you-
Navane, yeah.
Let's do this together.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if Virgil wants to split it, yeah.
You open the folder labeled Terran Nivane. It is mostly letters. You find a few other pieces of paperwork. You find a map of the Good Love Realigns and another. It looks like it's been updated a few times over the past 100 years. The letters are each with the official Phoenix Island letterhead, each labeled to Sheriff Donna Brenna of the island of somewhere, from Commander-in-Chief Terran Nivane of the island of the Phoenix. The pages mostly consist of white blank space. They're all handwritten, aside of course from the letterhead, in Terran Nivane's handwriting, which I think both of you would probably recognize. And the letters lean towards the very short. Sheriff Donna Brenna of the island of somewhere. Your interest in our Lacey King campaign is noted. I have sent a team to speak with you or a representative. They will pay the toll.
Are these dated? That letter, was that recent, or was that when the Shepherds first came to somewhere?
That is the same year that the Shepherds came to somewhere.
Okay.
Yes. The next letter. We will accept as many workers as you can offer for the rail lines. They will be treated fairly and paid wages. Thank you. The next. 176 members of your workforce have requested entry to the Phoenix Island. We will accept if permitted. Following letter. The 500 members of your workforce will be boarding the train to somewhere for you to waste their lives away behind a pointless prison, feeding greed and addiction. The next letter. Thank you for your interest in the research for the Shepherds program. We will share updates as they come. The next. I rescind the offer to share the research for the Shepherds program indefinitely. The trials proved dangerous and unexpectedly harmful to participants. The next letter. No. The next letter. I would like any information about Oral Moore. I am open to exchange. Why do you fear him?
Iconic. That no. Can I clarify one of the letters? Was it the laborers that worked on the rail lines went to paradise?
There was one that said some of the members of the workforce requested to basically join the Phoenix Island.
Right.
And that Navane would allow it. If Donna does. Mm-hmm. The following letter is all members of the workforce will be heading back to somewhere for you to waste their lives away behind a pointless prison, feeding greed and addiction.
Mm-hmm. She said, you can't leave. Okay, interesting.
So Navane was like, I'll take prison labor and I'll pay them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, but then they gave them back?
Because Donna said, no, you can't have them. But
They can't
Naveen-
go free.
Yeah, Naveen
Yeah,
was like,
Naveen.
I'm willing to let them join the island.
Yeah.
Interesting. And that was Paradise Prison Workers. Okay, hang on, I gotta write this down. Okay, I would love to examine these letters for potential signs of like hidden text. I will pick one, I suppose, to try identify virtually and see if that helps. 8.
You don't detect anything unusual about them. Very nice paper, kept in good condition. And then which one do you cast Identify on?
No, we will not give you Shepard's information because it like proved dangerous.
You don't see any signs of magic on it.
Okay.
What's Henry's understanding of the construction of the rail line between Somewhere and Dawning?
That rail line has been established since before Donna was sheriff, but there has been other work on other rail lines from Phoenix Island.
Okay.
Oh,
But it does have a date.
I did forget also that you would find, this isn't necessarily important,
You're grinning.
but I like it.
What is it?
You do find a list of these 500 members of the workforce. And Ox, you see Georgette's name on that list.
Have Taylor and Dimitri on that list?
No.
You mentioned maps showing the changes in the rail line, and you said something about it going back 100 years. Do these maps show the changes over 100 years?
You find maps that are basically 100 years ago to now, and it's like updated every 10 years or so.
Perhaps at this point, not necessarily unfamiliar vibe of like, damn, my family kind of sucks. It's not like he didn't expect that, so it's not as bad as other times, I guess, but
Slave labor.
prison slave labor.
Disillusioning a little bit.
Yeah.
Sorry about your dads.
But other than that, so somehow, I don't think the murders or violence or anything like that is what Donna is afraid of for you, Ox? Is there anything you could think of that would cause her, or perhaps even just cause Naveen to think that that's the case?
I genuinely don't know. Everything I thought was true turns out it's not.
Well, it's about your origins. It must be. I mean, it's not a coincidence that Donna is interested in both you and the Shepherds. There are similarities.
Even then, it's not like I have the same powers that the shepherds do. The same skills.
Well, Scar's actions in Somewhere have been mistakenly attributed to you before. Do you think it's possible that could be the case again?
I suppose that's true.
And we've honestly traveled surprisingly safely in the oceans. I just wonder if there was an element of your origin in helping keep us safe.
Between the three of us now, I suppose.
Because I should be making things worse.
But you're an interesting case.
You also have magic mushrooms helping you out on the way here.
That's true.
Sorry, I'm just trying to put together your story a little. Ox, did you kill the old sheriff?
I mean, technically, yes.
Technically?
It wasn't on purpose. Well, what happened was, firearms weren't allowed anywhere in town. Nobody was supposed to have any. They were supposed to all be locked up and guarded. And I had a gun, obviously, even as a kid. It was something I had been working on with Anne, the first gun I ever built. And he found it at home and confronted me about it. We had an argument, it got physical, and the gun went off without me trying. It used to misfire a lot. He started bleeding out, and that was when...
I finished the job.
Oh.
Scar walks up behind you all.
She needs a bell.
I don't
No,
think
that
she'd
was
keep
great.
it on.
No.
Yeah.
Claps a hand to your shoulder. Cleaned up a lot of messes in my time. Interesting findings.
Have you ever gone around intimidating the sheriff? I don't know why you would, just curious.
What do you mean?
Well, we found some letters from Navain that seem to indicate that Donna was scared of Ox or overly suspicious.
What's that got to do with me?
She seems to have mistaken you for orcs before.
Of course. Ox would never cause any trouble, would he?
Well, he doesn't seem to recall what particular trouble he might have caused to warrant this, other than, the murder.
Isn't that nice?
Do you remember?
Of course I do.
Would you like to tell us? Or...
Well, it's all written out there, isn't it?
You know, conveniently, there's not really any mention of you.
That's funny. It's almost like I wasn't really there. I'm going to bed.
She steps past you all over to the bikes where the packs are sitting.
Don't you sleep?
Don't you think we should get a little farther out before we...
I actually would like to pop back into town just for a short while before we leave.
Be careful.
Yeah, I have disguise magic. It'll be fine.
In the meantime, Garrett, we haven't gone over that file for Navain.
I think the file
We did.
is the
It was
letters.
just letters.
There's not two separate things?
No.
Oh,
No.
never mind then.
I'm sorry to disappoint you.
But we do have their signatures and Kian, and with those powers combined,
Yeah,
Anyway.
I'm gonna be in a vein.
we're gonna
And some letterhead.
we're gonna take them out, and Kian's gonna replace them. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
Yeah.
do any of you need anything from the city?
Are you going now? I guess everything's open still. But it's late.
I think it's better to be quick.
Actually, if I could join you briefly, I would like to drop by my house. Not necessarily to go inside, I just want to see if anyone is... I mean, there's that warrant. But I'm sure Dawn isn't above breaking and entering. I'm just curious if she has yet. You know?
Yeah, okay. Do you want to put the cloak on, Mr. Goodlove? Yeah, pull that, down over the horns.
I was going to.
Does Ox want new reading material? We're going to a bookshop. Maris got that good shit.
Well, I guess it wouldn't hurt if I joined you.
Yeah.
You should take a cloak too, though.
Definitely won't.
So you guys head into town?
Yeah.
I would
They'll
love
head back into
to
town.
borrow that 3 gold.
Yeah, you got it.
Thanks, babe.
Okay. So it's four of you?
3
Three of you. Three
plus
of you.
a lion and a falcon.
So the three of you head back towards somewhere. You do not see smoke in the sky. It was not that big of a fire, if that gives you any comfort. Finn and Leaf stay back. Scar stays back. She has already set out a bedroll and turned her back to you all. Lays down and pulls the blankets up. Jacques looks to you, Kian. Do you want to take watch while your friends are gone? Get some sleep after?
That sounds nice.
You mind if I play something?
Please do.
What did I sing in the Barbie movie?
Make it play Wonderwall.
Yeah.
He smiles. He walks over to his bike, finds his case, and pulls out the banjo you saw him performing with up on stage with Scar. Just something quiet, but I get a bit bored. And he starts plucking away at the strings. Don't let it distract you, of course.
No, it's nice to listen to something.
Yeah, I call this one Push. It is by my friend Ken. Wrote it for his friend Barbie.
What?
He wrote it for his friend Barbie.
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 Keen sits for a minute, and they do give a nice, cursory glance at the vast expanse of desert, and it seems like maybe they will actively take watch. But as the music continues, they kind of sway in time, and sort of absent-mindedly, they'll just start casting minor illusion. Just a little jackalope, kind of dancing in the flames as they continually recast little images to make it look like it's moving. It's a nice song. Does he recognize it?
Yes, it is a tune that he's often played during quieter, sleepier times. Gentle and pleasant, but unobtrusive.
You wrote it?
He's staring down at the banjo as he plays and kind of gives a non-committal nod. I'm not sure. I just know it. Thought you might like it.
I do. It reminds me of simpler times. I've been wondering about a few things. They rest their hand on her pocket, and was it you who left the flowers? They would have pressed them in just like simple notebook, and they pull that out, open it up.
He grins. He looks up from the banjo. But of course.
They're really nice.
Looks back down. Thank you, Pigeon. Plays a few more notes. Does it make me think of you? I don't know why.
I think it doesn't really register for a second as Kane closes the notebook back and is about to put it in their pocket. Wait, what did you just call me?
What did you say?
What did you just call me?
Pigeon?
Can I ask why?
It is like a pet name for you, is it not?
It is, but it's not, he's just, sorry, I don't, it kind of seemed like you didn't want to hear anything about before you can remember. So I don't know if that still applies.
He places a hand over the strings. Vibration stops. I don't know if that is true anymore. Scar insists it is better. I don't know. I did trust her, but I'm starting to wonder if that is a mistake. Because I think I might remember you in pieces or from a distance, and that does not feel like a bad thing.
You used to call me that.
Pigeon?
They nod.
We'll look at you.
Doesn't hurt that Marigold's usually...
A pigeon?
Yeah, she's kind of changed her whole image lately. But it's still there underneath. Did she come to you?
Multiple times, yes.
Right after we saw you in Dawning last?
Pretty close, and continued to visit once in a while. She kept a distance at first, and then when I was on watch, she would fly over. I kept it under wraps for a bit in case the others do not trust having someone's familiar around, but I like the company. And of course, eventually they figure it out.
Do you have any idea how it works?
How it works?
Connection to you? Did she open up that link to let you speak through her? And
Certainly, I would not have done it.
I've never heard of a thing like that before.
She's a powerful pigeon.
But she is.
Is there something you wanted to tell me from before?
I don't know. It's definitely not something I can ignore.
What?
Knowing you.
I think I am not interested in ignoring it anymore.
But what would you like to know?
It's hard to say what I would like to know when I know so little.
I can understand that.
Do you know why I don't know anymore?
Where were you when you first started, I don't know, realizing who you were? Or I don't really know how this works with a lack of memory. Did you just wake up one day?
Yes, quite recently, actually. I could speak, thankfully. I knew my name, not much else.
Where were you?
Honestly, I'm not sure. Outside. It was night. Scarlet took me in. I thought it was out of kindness, but now I think perhaps out of usefulness. Considering she knows you and these people you travel with, and apparently so do I.
I'm glad you weren't alone.
Me too, I would have been screwed.
I think you chose not to remember, but that's just a guess.
So I was stupid? That is unfortunate to learn about myself.
It's hard. It's hard to really know exactly what was going on. I didn't get a chance to talk to you much right before, so, and to be honest, I knew you quite well. There were things that I didn't know, and there were things that you didn't know. I think this has happened before. I'm not remembering.
Is Kian making the face that you're making right now?
Maybe.
Okay. Jacques gives you a long look. You don't have to look so upset. And we're starting over now, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. I'm so glad that you're here.
I am as well. Pigeon. And he smiles. He gives Kian a little nudge. Leans in, stays there.
Keen leans in as well, and there's just a half second of hesitation before they lean down and kiss him.
There's a small sound of surprise, but not upset.
It's a halfling thing.
Yeah, you see his tail like flick across the sand before he takes Kian's hand and kisses him back. He smiles when he leans back again. I think I do remember that.
In small steps, maybe. Hope you remember a bit more.
I don't need to remember. Don't pressure yourself.
Let's just see where this takes us then.
That is my plan.
There's a much lighter air about them as they lean in, kind of stare at the fire, and reach their hand to just intertwine their fingers, rest his head against Lachlan's, or Jacques, or both.
Yeah, he gingerly sets the banjo down with his free hand and just leans back against Kian and watches the stars as the night goes by. Meanwhile, you yahoos.
Before it gets too late, I think Virgil will want to stop by Maris first, and then we can hit Henry's shopping home on the way out.
Okay.
So he will make a beeline for Maris' shop. He'll probably take, like with Ox and Henry's help, take back streets to get there. He'll disguise himself as a nondescript half-elf.
You walk up to the shop. It looks like it is closed. Like closed. Like the windows are boarded. On the top floor, you can see a light is on. It's similar to Donna's office, actually. It's shaped like a home. Occasionally, you see a shadow flickering in front of the window, like someone is up there walking by.
He spots that shadow and will aim a message up there through the window. Sorry to disturb your evening.
Ah!
Do I just hear that from inside?
Yeah.
I see him trip.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, you hear a muffled crash.
Shit. Sorry. It's just me, Virgil Flores. Are you Meredith or am I disturbing someone entirely unrelated?
Yeah, it is me.
Are you okay? It's just you fell and you haven't gotten back up.
Hold on. You wait a couple minutes, and then from around like the back of the house, Meredith appears. He's wearing a thin sort of trench coat over where you can see the bottom of like patterned bright green pajamas. He looks around a bit, gaze lands on you. Come here.
Yeah, he does.
Is everyone here?
Yeah, I think both Ox and Henry are in their cloaks.
Yeah, he will step forward with Blossom.
Meredith leads you back down the little alleyway between houses into the small walled backyard and stops and turns around. What is it? What is it?
Are you okay?
What are you doing here?
That's complicated, and I probably shouldn't answer. But things here are not like I left them. Your shop, what, are you in some sort of trouble?
He glances back as if he doesn't quite know what you're talking about. Oh, right. Yeah, well, I'm just trying to avoid it.
It?
Trouble. Being in trouble.
Okay.
Or I guess I should say, trouble has certainly found its way to me, and I've accepted that. However, I'd like to minimize the effects that it's going to have on my business.
Okay. It just seems as if your business is closed.
Temporarily closed, yes.
What happened? What is this trouble?
I think it's probably best you didn't get involved. He's saying it like he's doubting what he's saying as he says it.
If you're worried about getting me in trouble, I don't...
Do you need... why do you need something?
Yes, I wanted to ask a couple of things. Have you happened to have heard from Ewan and Nico at all? She's upstairs.
Will you roll insight, please?
Interesting ask. 10.
He still has this confused kind of half in this conversation, half elsewhere kind of look to him, glances over his shoulder, back at the house, back to you. You all came in with that since then. I heard some unfortunate news.
What exactly did you hear?
That she... do you not...
I know it was supposed to happen. But I have reason to believe now that it did not.
Why?
Because a sending went through.
Did you hear back?
No, but it's not supposed to go through if they're gone.
I think it's not always as easy to tell as you might think, especially if you want it to be successful.
I guess I'll just keep trying then. See what comes of it. Anyway, I also wanted to know if you've been able to find anything else about the shepherds related information, or is that just a well gone dry?
You just stay here for a second.
Okay.
Garth turns around and goes back inside the house.
Okay.
What are you two doing?
Watching from a distance.
Are you watching from a distance?
Yeah.
Yeah. Henry, don't stand too close, otherwise I'm gonna want to hold your hand. Go stand over
What
there.
was that?
You
I
think
didn't
that's
say-
less conspicuous though, for like kissing in an alleyway?
What, you're like whispering. I can hear that you're whispering.
Just for the heck of it, will we roll a d20 for me, please?
11?
This is just to help me make a decision, don't worry.
Guys, what's wrong with Mareth? Who's giving him trouble?
Has True not met him yet in this world?
He's gone for a good 5 minutes. Again, like the curtains are closed. It's not like you can see clearly into his house or anything like that, but you can like see that he's walking around up there.
Okay.
There's still a shadow up on the upper window when you hear the latch of the door click open.
What could it mean? The horror in your face. Just as
There's another person in the
it's
house.
just he's home with a partner.
James, you guys?
Yeah, it's James. Everyone chill.
Maybe.
And Nico stands in the doorway.
Okay.
Oh my god, it is.
I
Listen, I
you
jumped
gotta get
right through
prepared.
that reveal and I...
what do I do? I didn't prepare for this.
You're
I'm
gonna
a
go back
prophet.
I think he drops the disguise immediately. And I don't think it's conscious, he just loses concentration.
Can we have a second?
Yeah, just you can like above take give me a moment.
Get your sit down.
Okay, we're calm, we're normal.
Okay.
She leans on her cane, peers out, looks mostly the same as you're used to seeing her, though she's wrapped in a more similar style, dark poncho cloak. Of course, the sun is not in her hair. She looks up to you.
Are you real?
Come here.
but-
Get inside.
Okay. Yes, okay. He won't enter the building.
She basically pulls you in to this lower level of the bookshop and closes the door behind you, locks it again, turns back to you, and immediately wraps you into a hug.
He freezes. You're not angry with me?
She doesn't step back. She hugs a little bit tighter. Of course I am not angry with you.
Why not?
Why would I be angry with you?
Why shouldn't you be? He hugs her back. I let them have you. How are you here?
Finally now she steps back. Looks you over. She clicks her tongue. She looks worried. Well, for one thing, you did not let them have me. I have been there for
Many years. Of my own free will.
But I don't understand.
Commander Nevane and I were very close. They are capable of mercy. They are going to regret this time.
I'm glad you're okay. I don't know how you're here, but I'm glad you are.
Is Blossom... How is Blossom expressing / experiencing this?
Perhaps she might be picking up on a little bit of Virgil's nervous energy, so maybe a little bit of tail twitching, kind of stalking, but not hostile.
At first, Nico only has eyes for Virgil. As Blossom walks in, you just see it's just this half second of her gaze lowering, and something maybe painful crosses her expression, and she turns away, turns back to you as she kind of pulls back, still with that same faint hint of nervousness, but approval as well. Finally, she allows herself to look back down to Blossom. And now when she looks at her, there is a hint of a smile on her face. She looks to her and back to you.
Who's this?
Yes, this is Blossom. Blossom, this is Nico. She's been with me for a few weeks, months now.
Did you choose this form?
She actually started out as a rabbit. This one, she took charge of herself.
It's quite impressive. She crouches down and stops partway through. Is it alright?
Of course.
She holds out a hand to Blossom, like you would to any stray dog or cat.
I think there's some hesitation, but Virgil is comfortable with Nico, and so the same, I think, applies. She'll give a sniff and then butt her head against Nico's hand.
Nico's smile widens, with a hint of relief as well. She just gently pets back her mane, gives her a little scritch behind the ears.
I think she would have gotten along well with Peony.
I'm certain she would have.
She likes you.
She sighs, and there are tears in her eyes when she looks back to Virgil. I'm glad you have her.
Honestly, she's been a bit of a lifesaver.
You're a fast learner. Most cannot summon a familiar this early on in their training. You should be proud.
Thank you.
She gives Peony your... Oh god. She gives
Literally,
Blossom.
every time this happens to me, I go to say Blossom's name and...
And it's almost like Nico sort of shakes herself out of it and stands back up.
How did you... I mean, they just let you go?
No. I am not, well, we have... I am on the run, I suppose you could say.
Welcome, that makes two of us.
Listen, whatever you hear in the near future of events in dawning in Phoenix Island, don't return. Not until I say so. This is not exile, I'm not saying you can never go home, just for the time being.
Why? What am I going to hear?
I cannot say. And not that I won't say, I don't know. I don't know what they are going to say, I don't know what they are going to do.
Then tell me what happened, from what you saw.
I want to get thrown out.
So do I. Can I insight check her? Is it benevolent? Is this out of love? Why do I ask?
Matchy one.
Which, yeah.
You do know, you don't have to roll insight check to know, you just know this about Nico. She has this kind of strategy that she uses where she'll angle her face to one side or the other. The scarred side or the unscarred side, depending on what emotion she wants to express or if she wants to be read at all. She doesn't use it often on the shepherds. She didn't, I should say. It seems like she might be using it on you now, just a bit. What? What is it?
Did you see him when you were there?
Yes.
I should have told you about him. I don't know why I didn't. I think I was afraid.
I was not of my right mind. I don't blame you for any of that. But you did not need to tell me he came to visit me.
What did he say?
Nothing.
And that's it. How did you get here?
I was a layseeker for a long time, before the train tracks were even here. I know how to travel the oceans.
So what, you broke out?
With some help, yes.
Did he help you?
No. I believe he thinks I am dead.
Do you want him to know otherwise?
No, not yet. He's still... You know.
He's trying.
I know.
So, do you have a plan then for getting him out?
Yes.
I'll help you.
No.
You can't tell me not to.
She takes you by the arm, just kind of squeezes it firmly, not painfully.
I ask you to stay out for now. Continue what you are doing. Don't return to Dunning. There are eyes on him. Not just Commander Nevain's. We are watching him.
Who's we?
I have friends in Dunning.
As I would expect.
You're not going to give up until I give you a few more answers, are you?
You tell me.
Before she can tell anything, they're both interrupted by what can only be described as an aggressive salesman knock.
Motherfucker!
I'm sorry, I was a
No, Neil. Yes. Neil, yes.
You can decide if Ox wants to come.
Oh, Ox is definitely going with.
She freezes, and there's a flash of panic in her eyes. She glances back over her shoulder at the door.
It's okay. It's... You know I'm not traveling alone.
Who did you bring here?
Another aggressive salesman.
Dikudlov and Oxalis.
She glances back at the door again.
Virgil, if you're not dead, I'd appreciate a response of some kind, something like that.
Not dead.
Great, could you unlock the door?
As this conversation is happening, she is already heading back up the stairs.
Fuck. Can you give me, 5 minutes, 10 maybe? You'll hear screaming if I'm dying.
But could you please unlock the door? Let's just stay out here.
He goes upstairs.
Okay.
Maris, I'll handle this, heads back downstairs.
Thank you so much. He chases after Nico.
She meets you at the top of the stairs, turns back around.
Healer Kyo and I have always been friends.
Yes.
We are in communication.
Good. Okay, is that all?
It is already more than you should know.
Look, I want to believe you. I want to trust you. And to some extent, I think I do. I don't know that I can stop that, but I need more of a reason to stay out of this.
Nevain wants you. Nevain wants to use you.
Yeah, that much was clear.
Rowan has proved not what they hoped. But you are what they want. If you return, you put both him and yourself in danger.
This is because of the light, isn't it? The thing
Yes.
I can speak to in
Of
it.
course.
Do you know what it is?
No.
When is this going to happen?
When it is right, as quickly as possible,
Do you think he'll be okay there in the meantime?
yes.
Even if he is not useful?
Yes. Nevain has affection for him.
Will you tell me when he is out?
Yes.
Will you let me come and see you then? Both of you.
Yes,
Will you swear it to me?
of course. Likely we will want to come to you. And likely it will be some time.
I feel like there's so much more I should say, but it's not coming to me. just glad you're alive. Do you want this back? He will pull out her comb from his bag. It's yours.
She looks at it, and there's like a half second where she reaches out. And there's sort of a look of longing in her eyes, and then she shakes her head. I gave it to you.
Okay. I'll try again next time then, yeah?
She pulls you into a hug again.
He hugs her back, tight.
Be careful.
You too.
Stay safe.
I'll do my best.
I think you can kind of sense that in her too, that she is hesitating before she says something. I have heard terrible things about the friend you travel with.
Which one?
Ox. As you know him.
I've heard him by a couple of names now.
Just be careful who you trust. I am not your commander anymore, so I cannot give you orders. Just advice.
And I'm glad to hear it as ever. Oh, be careful. Can I send to you again?
Yes.
Okay, I don't want to go.
I don't want you to go either, but you should. Don't worry yourself. Are you still holding the comb?
Yeah.
She does reach for it now. She takes it and very carefully places it in Virgil's hair.
Okay.
I'm doing better now. Much better. I can hold my own. And I know you can too.
He stands up a little straighter. Thank you for believing in me. You have since the start. And I'm sorry if I let you down. I will do better.
You don't need to apologize. You did not let me down.
It feels like I did.
Well, I would have said the same apology to you, so I guess we are even.
I'm okay with that.
Good.
I should probably go before Henry breaks down the door.
Speaking of
No.
Henry and Ox, you don't see Virgil, but you do see Gan dressed in a sort of thin trench coat over bright green pajamas. I don't know, probably like hair tied back in a messy ponytail. Very sleepy looking bookshop owner glares at the two of you. Yeah.
So sorry to be a disturbance. I'm certain you saw a friend get grabbed into your shop by another person that was in here. It's not that we necessarily think that's malicious intention, but...
Are you still wearing the clothes?
No.
Okay.
When he got to the door, he's taking it off.
Okay. Just... He's really needed to go to the bathroom. It'll probably be a few minutes.
Do you want to roll? It's a number 2.
So you can just wait here. He starts to close the door.
Do you have like a lobby or a sitting area or something like that? I really prefer if there's not like a locked door between the two of us, just in case something happens. This person, I mean, she's generally great but it's complicated.
Sorry, what?
Virgil promised me a new book.
Sorry.
We're closed right now. Sorry. This is a bookshop, we're not usually open like this late. Anyways, but alright, what book?
Well, I just wanted to peruse some of your finer works.
Like I said, we're closed for business temporarily. So you'll have to find. There's another bookshop a few blocks down. Turn to the left. Take the second right.
It's in the red light district.
Even for a few gold?
Roll persuasion.
14.
I would like some of your finest pornography. I'm ruining his life.
You can see the struggle, the intense internal tug of war, and as if against his will, he shakes his head. Like I said, we're closed. Virgil and I go back. I don't know, he just wanted to say hi. It's fine.
You're not going to acknowledge the third person in your house?
There isn't a third person in my house.
There definitely is a woman, a shorter elf woman. She's got a cane, very recognizable scar, dark hair. I guarantee you're aware of this other person in your house.
I have a big dog.
Wow, a big dog. Mine. Coyote would love to play with them.
It's gonna kill you.
She's not friendly.
You know, it would be a shame if someone else were to find out that there's another person in your house. If you just let us peruse your books for a few moments while we wait for Virgil, maybe nobody has to know.
That was really good.
Just one smut.
Yeah.
I'll start a new book and we're going to be on the road for a really long time. I need that new book.
Marith just stares at you for a moment. He steps aside. Gestures to the bookshelves.
Ox will step inside and begin perusing the finest of his wares.
For once, Henry is very nice, polite, and quiet, and will stand polite and quietly off to the side. A little surprise.
Oh my god.
All the books are still up on the shelves. As you're looking through them, Marith kind of sidles over to the stairway and stands in the way and glances over at you. Just take it all. I don't care. I don't care anymore.
Well,
And as he says that, Virgil, you walk down the stairs.
I did intend to pay you for them at least.
Oh, Virgil, you're back from the bathroom.
Hi, you all are so weird.
Was Marith included in that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Were they bullying you? Are you okay?
Can you just go?
We probably shouldn't linger. Yeah, there's. Don't want to get too late, you know?
Explain that the dog upstairs isn't very friendly.
He's calling.
Virgil looks at you and he sees immediately that you know. Okay. Sorry to disturb you. I would love to give you some gold for this, possibly in exchange for some materials and for your time. And we'll be gone. We'll leave for a long time. I promise.
I mean, the cat's out of the bag, it seems like, already. Please don't get us arrested. That's repayment enough for me.
We'd be arresting ourselves too, so if that's any assurance.
Been there, done that.
Planning?
Yeah, Virgil would love to pick up some familiar components. And I'll just quietly leave 10 gold on the counter. He can pick it up if he wants.
Yeah. Marith seems genuinely distressed, like a bit shaken.
I did not at all expect this to be how the night went, so this is a surprise for the two of us. I will keep them quiet about this.
Who are we going to tell?
He ignores that.
Yeah.
Be safe.
Yeah, I think... I mean, she's not going to stay here for too long. Stay on the move.
Yeah, that is our plan as well.
Good luck out there.
Thank you, and to you as well.
Ox has a small stack of books in his arm. I didn't really mean it when I threatened you. It's just...
You threatened him.
Well...
You.
It's that we had to get inside.
Did you?
Look, we'll go over it later.
Okay, yeah, we'll do this.
We're
Not
imposing.
here. Let's leave. Have a good evening.
You as well.
Okay.
Closes the door gently behind you.
Virgil just lets out a big breath. Was that... I didn't imagine that. Right. That happened.
That was actually the entire reason we were determined to not have, a big locked door between the two of us. Just in case.
Just in case.
Well, it's less of... Look, if it...
Let's walk and talk.
Yes. Cloak's back on. Look,
Yeah.
It's more of if, in the event, and it doesn't seem like that was the case given everything, but in the event that that had not actually been Nico, you know what I mean? Trying to, like, I don't know, lure you or something. I don't know.
It would be pretty easy to lure me anywhere.
Right, so you need backup.
And I am also capable of defending myself.
Doesn't hurt to have backup. What if you went upstairs and were immediately paralyzed?
With that, you all skitter away from the shuttered, dark windows of the bookshop and make your way over to the shuttered, dark windows of Henry's shop. It has been fully gutted and officially closed down since you were last here. You are greeted to your home with a locked door. And that is where we'll end our session for tonight.
Fuck. I want to get in there.
Yeah.
And also, what the hell?
What's Kira been doing this last little bit?
I'm trying really hard to sound asleep. Yeah, I think he's blushing really hard in his bedroll.
When that wall's between you and me, that's the way it should always be. And I've been filling up the sea, mixing water in with salt. I've been filling up the sea, 'cause this was all your fault. When we stand on separate shores, I'll simmer just a little more. Always fighting over something these days, crying over nothing either way. You've been building up a railroad, laying rails and stakes and wood. You've been building up a railroad, like it'll do you any good. When that train is on the tracks, we can put all this at our back.